Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Girls Gotta Talk podcast. This episode is currently being recorded on new microphones that I got. I got gifted wireless microphones for Christmas, so I'm really excited and I'm hoping this sounds really good. I tried to do like a mic test when I first got them to make sure they're good, they worked, all of that stuff. So this is the first episode actually being recorded with them, so that's really exciting. But before we get into this episode, streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, anywhere you stream your podcast. We are here on YouTube, Girls Gotta Talk podcast. If you want to subscribe, join the fam over here. Got my coffee to sit and record this episode. I am, if you're listening, when it came out, it's a day later than I normally do. I haven't posted the last 2 weeks, like this one and last week, on regular Wednesday uploads because of holidays. But from when I'm recording this, we're still in 2024, but when this goes live, we will be in 2025. So I hope you all had a very happy holiday season. I hope you guys have a tremendous new year. I hope it's a good year for you guys. This episode is basically just gonna kind of be, I don't know if I want to say expectations per se, but kind of what's going to be happening as far as I know in 2025, like some plans and everything. I did recently actually make a vision board. I use Canva and I just literally type in vision board and I pick out one that I kind of want to customize, if you will. So I will be going over that kind of, I guess you can call it expectations of what I'm kind of looking for or forward to in 2025. To start off, my son's birthday is in March, so it's kind of the first thing we the first thing we get to into the year. So he's already going to be turning 3, which to me is kind of crazy. The fact that I'm going to be having a 3-year-old this year is kind of wild. It's really one of those things where it's like you sit back and you're like, wow, like I could have swore he was just born and now I need to plan third birthday party. He's in like a preschool, older age type room in daycare. They recently moved him up for that. So I don't know, just thinking of all these things is kind of crazy to me. The next thing is 2025 will be the last year for my 20s. For me, 2025, I turned 29. And I've never actually been one to be like, oh my God, like 30 seems scary. Like, I don't want to turn 30, like that situation. But like, I feel like now that I'm actually getting to it, I'm like, wow, like that's kind of crazy. I'm not going to sit here and say like I don't want to turn 30. Like, as of right now, it's not that terrifying to me, if I'm being honest. But maybe when I actually turn 29 and like we get into 2026 and I'm going to be turning 30, like I might have another look at it. But for right now, I'm just thinking like it's the last year of my 20s before I guess another milestone, if you will, the big 3-0. But 2025, my son turns 3, I turn 29. Both aspects of that to me is just kind of crazy. But anyways, also in 2025, my best friend is getting married. So that's crazy to me. I honestly, like, I feel like I'm super excited, but at the same time, of course, I'm going to want to cry because I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be so beautiful. It's going to be so special, crazy. Yeah. So towards the end of 2025, we'll have her wedding. So I'm super excited for that. With that also being said, I know we're planning a bachelorette party. So that's going to be happening at some point in 2025. I think we have the weekend picked out, but nothing is actually like set in stone yet. So once everything is like set and into motion, I feel like it'll be really exciting. But for right now, we're just kind of all talking and planning. Um, she made a group chat with everyone that's going to be in the wedding party, trying to decide on place and everything. We kind of like kicked the soon to be bride out of the group chat and we're planning without her. But um yeah, all that has been super exciting so far. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just like really excited. I'm trying to think of like places. Like I said, we're thinking of dates. We might have one narrowed down, but I don't think we've fully discussed plans on it yet. But also like then I want to look up like little decorations and like little places depending on also where we are staying. I think we're leaning towards Airbnb, but if we actually like go into hotel route, then looking for things to like decorate the hotel rooms and all this stuff. But going off of the wedding and bachelorette party, I feel like that's like two travel things I know will already be happening this year because travel to wherever we end up going for the bachelorette party and then traveling to where she's getting married because for me it will be out of state. So that's kind of exciting. I do want to have more travel plans. Nothing has been planned out at all. Like I haven't really had any thought process on a lot actually going into 2025, but um yeah, I feel like I just want to travel. I want to say more than I did this year, but I really didn't travel at all, so that's not really much to compare to, but that's definitely on the bucket list, if you will, for 2025. New podcast equipment is also on expectations for 2025. I will say that I've already started. I got, like I said, these mics that I've been gifted. My brother has gifted me the little piece I know I've talked about probably a million times that I've been missing to bring back video episodes. So 2025 video episodes will be coming back. Those are 100% making a comeback. I haven't figured out where I would record yet, which I probably should have been planning out as I've been waiting for me to order this piece. But, anyways, haven't fully figured that out yet. So I do need to decide where I want to sit and record. Um, but mark my words, 2025 will be the year that video episodes come back. And I'm super excited about it. So hopefully it all goes really, really well. But going back to podcast equipment, because of the fact that I know I can bring back video episodes, like I went on Amazon and I bought like my own tripod to put my camera on. I bought um like a lighting fixture because I know if I record, honestly, I want to say anywhere, but I'm thinking like somewhere in my room. I know the lighting in my room is awful. I hate it. So I did buy a light fixture to try to make it look a little better when I do go to record video episodes again. Um, I'm trying to think of what else. I think that's all I really ordered. Tripod, lighting fixture. I got the piece to bring back the video. I do have another mic that I usually use when I was recording video episodes, but now that I also have these, I feel like I have some options, which is kind of really good. I'll probably obviously end up using whatever one sounds better. I guess it'll be a true test on how this episode goes when I'm editing it with this is the first episode I'm recording into this. So I know I did like a trial error and like just listening to that it sounded pretty good, but when I edit a whole episode, I'll make sure that it 100% sounds really good. Um the next thing based off of these mics as well, it did come with a pack of two. I was looking into the single ones just because like I said I did want um wireless mics, but this did come in a pack of two, and I got really excited for those because now I could potentially have guests on the podcast. Um, that goes back to also making sure I have like my own equipment to make it all work and everything. Because if you know before, I did not have my own stuff for most of what I was using, but now I'm trying to make sure I have everything that I could need to get this going. With the two mics, it'll make it easier to record guests and have fun with that. There are some ideas I already have planned for guest episodes, like topic wise, so to speak. So I just kind of have to put it in motion. And I have like topic wise, but I don't have like who I would record the topics, like who I would record the episodes with. So that's an issue with themselves. With itself, I do need to just like find people to sit and record with me, but Um, yeah, that's just, I feel like kind of the biggest thing for me. I did have a couple people on the podcast last year and I thought it was super fun. So I definitely want to have that happen again. I just need to find people that either want to come on or I want to record with. So that's another like planning procedure in this. But the next thing that I have totally looking forward to in 2025 goes, I feel like all of this is like not even life, it's just all like podcasts, but sometime in 2025 we will be hitting our 100th episode on this podcast, which to me is absolutely insane. To think about that is crazy. Like I feel like we just started this and now we're going to be reaching 100 episodes. Like I thought it was crazy when I was posting, I don't even remember what it was, but the 50th episode, and now we would have doubled that. So of course I did some research and I was looking and I was like, oh, we're gonna be hitting 100th episode, like let's try to count and see like where we would end up, like what that's gonna look like. I looked it up and from when this is posted I was like counting weeks and I was like, okay, I'd realized that if I can count correctly, but if I looked at the weeks, how they're supposed to go, if I don't miss any episodes, which I feel like is kind of, I don't know, that makes me nervous because just for any case, like this is where I know I want to get ahead for this year because if I don't miss any episodes, the 100th episode will be posted on my birthday. When I realized that and I was counting, I literally counted twice. So I'm hoping I just know how to count and I didn't like miss a week somewhere in there. But because I've been posting episodes on Wednesdays, my birthday falls on a Wednesday this year. So Wednesday, September 3rd, will potentially be the 100th episode. But again, that's if I don't miss any weeks. So that kind of makes me nervous because I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to like stress myself out to have to record and have to upload something and make sure, like, I kind of want to make sure this happens because that'll be the craziest thing to me. But yeah, I found that out and I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. Like, that is just wild. Like, I love the way that panned out. So I'm trying to make it happen, but we'll see what actually happens because also based on what I just said of uploading on Wednesdays, I've kind of been going back and forth with myself. And I kind of miss posting on Mondays. I don't know what it was. I really liked Monday uploads for some reason. I think, like, personally, I just really like Mondays to begin with. I know that's probably a very unpopular opinion. I personally really like Mondays. So I did like the fact that I uploaded my episodes on Mondays. Um I don't know, there was just something about starting the week, having a new episode out that just, I don't know, like it was just perfect for me. I loved the way it panned out. I loved the thought process for it. But I felt like, so if you don't know, I did post Mondays at 10 a.m. Eastern time. If you also know, I also did a lot of last minute. So I was always recording on Sundays and then having to edit or like record, edit, schedule, make sure everything was done. So that way in the morning, like obviously when I was posting, I wanted to schedule it. So I had to make sure the thumbnail was done. I made sure that the Instagram post that I usually post the links on was done so that I could just find the links quickly, like copy, paste, post, like that type of situation. So I was like, oh, like maybe the time was too early for me. Like I felt like, I don't want to say I was pressured almost, but it just felt very like last minute time, like not time consuming, but like time consuming to make sure I had everything done, didn't mess anything up, made sure it was all right. So I started posting on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So of course now in my mind I'm like, oh my God, if I can go back to Mondays, then I can maybe like go back to Mondays but keep the time now. So go Monday at 3 p.m. instead of Monday at 10 a.m. But then I'm like, oh my God, I've already switched my posting schedule. I'm not trying to be that person that's just going back and forth and then eventually just getting to the point where I'm like, I don't know when I'm uploading, but an episode will be out sometime this week. Like for me, I like kind of having a schedule. So knowing I'm going to be posting an episode this time, this day type of thing is kind of key for me. But I don't know. I've kind of been all over the place with thinking about it. And now that I also realize, like I just said, that the 100th episode could potentially be on my birthday, makes me want to keep Wednesdays maybe till next year. I don't know. We'll see. But I feel like that's like such a special moment that I kind of want to keep it. And I'm like, oh, I could always just post the episode on my birthday. But then I'm like, why would I want to just switch that one just to make it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I've been having a thought process go back and forth in my head about what I want to do, but that's just kind of been on my mind lately. Um, that's kind of everything I had expectation wise, I guess you could say, going into 2025, like things that I know are going to happen, some things I want to do, some things I kind of want to make happen. Like I said in the beginning of this episode, I did make a 2025 like vision board. I made one last year and I really enjoyed it and I like kept it to kind of look back on. Um now Now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably reflect back on that one and see what I had on there because I don't even remember. But the one I had for the 2025 vision board, I did have the number 3 and the number 29. Like I said, little recap here. My son will be turning 3. I'll be turning 29. Last year in my 20s, I guess kind of a crazy time. I did have a picture of an airplane in the sky, kind of my travel thought process. Again, my friend's getting married. I'll be traveling for that. She will be getting married close enough to where I live that I might just drive because it'll be definitely less expensive if I drive, but also I think I don't know, like I'm thinking 6 hours max drive, so it's not awful. So I'm kind of thinking I might just do that instead of taking the time to pay for a plane ticket, and with how close it is driving wise, it'll obviously be way less flying, but then I'm like at that point is it even worth flying if that makes sense? Um So yeah, that's gonna be happening. I had a picture of a laptop with a camera. Definitely want to be doing a lot of podcast, um, everything, planning, making sure everything's good, set in stone almost. Like I said, equipment, figuring out videos coming back. Definitely place to record is top tier, but all that I do want to get back into YouTube as well. If you didn't know, I do have my own YouTube channel. I actually recently just uploaded a vlog, actually. So that was the first one uploaded in, I don't even know how long. It's been definitely a couple months, but that was like really fun. For me, the whole process of like vlogging and even editing and then definitely uploading is all just exciting for me. So I do want to get back into that. I did have a microphone picture in this vision board. Again, podcast, everything. I did have a picture of like a whole bunch of books on a bookshelf. I feel like reading era this year has been really good for me, and I've found a lot of books that I've loved. I know I have a lot of books that I want to get into, a lot of books that I heard about that are really good. So I do want to keep up with my reading era, if you will. So I'm hoping I make time for that a lot in 2025. I think I mentioned it in the last episode when I did like a 2024 like book recap that I use the app Goodreads. So I know coming up it'll probably have you, if you use it, it has um like a reading goal, like a reading challenge, I think it's actually what it's called. So I do have to set up my 2025 reading challenge in that. So I'm waiting for that to be able to do because I know I looked into it recently, I think, and they did not have the option yet. So hoping it happens soon. The next thing that I had was like journals. Um, I do want to get into journaling. I recently actually used the journal app in my phone and I found out I loved it. Like you could just journal like a random entry or you can base it off like a picture or like a destination or anything. Like they have pictures you can just start writing about or destination places you've visited recently or contacts or people like you can really just write about anything from any time and I thought that was really exciting. um That's actually where I have this picture of my vision board. I kind of broke it down in there. Um, the next thing I had was like a side of a building. I do want to find living situation. I am currently right now back at my parents, but I kind of do want a place of my own. So I obviously have to look into all that. I don't really know where I want to be located. Obviously, close to where my son is, but at the same time, like I was thinking, obviously close to my job. But now that I'm working too, like I don't know if I want to find like a middle place, but then I'm also like thinking, obviously, somewhere that is safe and I don't know, like a place that I like. I don't want to be settling down somewhere just to kind of have a place of my own. I obviously want to feel at home in it and love the place, but that is definitely on the lookout this year. I think that's everything that I had. Um, I did have a picture of a sunset, but that was kind of just like my reminder of kind of just enjoying life, like being present in a lot of moments, um, experiencing a lot of life things. Like I said, son's birthday, just little, he still is going to be reaching like certain milestones for the first times in the next definitely few years. So I definitely just want to be present and able to enjoy those with him. Obviously, have like, I don't know, I kind of want to say like congratulate him, like make him know that everything he's doing really well and he's doing very good and all this stuff. Like, definitely want to make him feel like know that he's doing okay, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think that is everything I have for this episode. Basically, 2025 expectations, what I'm looking forward to coming up in this well, I want to say coming up in this new year because when I'm recording this, it is not 2025 yet, but that is everything I will be looking forward to this year when you're hearing this because it will be posted in 2025. This will be the first episode of 2025. I hope you guys have a fantastic year. Again, I hope you all had a great holiday season. I appreciate you guys so much for all the support that I had in 2024 from you guys. I'm hoping you stay in 2025. I'm hoping we will continue all the support and fun with this podcast going into 2025. But yeah, I love you guys so much. And I'll see you next week back with a brand new episode. Bye.